Thank you for joining us for the Sunshine Coast Regional District 2017 Budget Summary after Round 1. The purpose of today's meeting is to provide an update to the public on our budgetary process. So what we'll be covering today is we'll be talking about our budget process, the key items impacting 2017, some of the budget figures such as taxation and parcel taxes, projects and decisions for Round 2. We also have the Sunshine Coast Regional Hospital District, and we'll conclude with questions and information. So our regional district really is guided by the board's strategic plan, and that informs and guides all our decision-making processes. Our service delivery model for a regional district is different than a municipality, and it's important to understand that only those services that people are participating in is what they pay for. Regional districts also are not their own taxing jurisdictions, so for a municipality, they requisition the funds on behalf of the regional district. Services can also be provided based on a legislative bylaw, but they can also be delivered by a contract or third party. So types of service deliveries, there are certain types of service that a regional district must provide, such things as solid waste in our landfills, emergency services such as 911. We also have localized services such as our water, our refuse collection, and our fire departments. Discretionary services would be examples like recreation and libraries and museums and such. So our budget, the SCRD, provides over 45 distinct services, so our budget process must review each and every one of these services as we go through the process. The planning and budgeting process, as stated before, starts with the board's strategic priorities and then is guided through our corporate plans, service plans, and then followed by the financial plan. The 2017 timeline is that in January through March, we are going through our budgetary meetings. However, the budget process really does start in the fall of the prior year. We had a pre-budget meeting in December to provide the board with an update as we head into the 2017 budget process. The spring and summer is followed by review of the strategic plan and our integrated 5-year service plans. And the integrated 5-year service plans is a document which encompasses all the 16 guiding key documents of the regional district. So those things would be like the Parks and Recreation Master Plan, official community plans, the asset management plan as some examples. We also will do public presentations, as this one is. We then will also be doing our community dialogues in May of 2017. That process was started in 2016 and was very successful, so we're going to continue on with that structure. Our variance reporting and work plans are presented to the Corporate and Administrative Services Committee each quarter. So that will begin in second quarter in July of 2017, followed by third and fourth quarter in October and again in December. And then again, we start with the 2018 to 2022 financial plan process. We'll begin in September again. So our budget proposal criteria, really we began a process of developing a criteria for the board to understand their decision-making process. So the first criteria when budget proposals are presented is the mandatory category. So those would be things for safety, eminent asset failure, or regulatory compliance, or to maintain core operations and business continuity. Whether or not the second criteria would be identified directly to moving the strategic plan goals along. Third would be identified in the integrated 5-year service plan. Fourth would be low cost, high value. So those are things that would be not a lot of dollars, but have a lot of value to the organization to move forward. And then other is where none of those criteria sort of match. So key items impacting the 2017 budget. We have just been undergoing and gone live with our comprehensive software upgrades. Our financial ERP system has just gone live on January 1st, as well as our enterprise asset management system, our CityWorks system. Last year in 2016, we went live with our land management system, which also had a public interface. We continue to work and develop through our asset management plan, and we continue to develop our internal service plans. We also have many projects that continue on in 2017 that were approved through 2016. And those carry forward projects are included in the 2017 budget but have no financial impact. So we also have some external impacts which we'll be discussing today, and those are our changes in assessments. So for 2017, the regional district as a whole, including all the member municipalities, assessments have increased 22.61% compared to the 2016 assessment roll. Converted values have increased by 20.9%, and converted values for residential property class has increased more than the average property class. So that would be things like business or industrial or our utilities classes. So we've provided a definition as to what converted values are, and those are the net taxable values of land and improvements of which our tax calculations are measured by. So just to provide some figures, in 2016 we had $8.5 billion worth of assessment on the Sunshine Coast, and in 2017 we're at $10.4 billion, which equates to 22.61%. The non-market changes is generally related to growth, and the market conditions refer to assessments related to market shifts. So that would be where I could sell my house for $500,000 in 2016, and in 2017 I'd probably be looking at maybe $600,000. So impacts of assessment. So on the far right-hand column, the average change in residential class is really to articulate what, if we tax the exact same dollar last year, what the change of assessments would have to that particular area. So comparison of the converted values for 2016 in areas such as the District of Sechelt, the town of Gibsons, Area F, we've seen some significant variations, and this is really the share of which they will pay into the services. So the regional district budget at the end of round one was looking at a $53.45 million budget. That is a $36.2 million operating budget, as well as a $17.25 million capital budget for 2017. It's important to understand that the capital budget also includes those carry forward projects from the prior year. For example, we have universal metering, the Chapman Water Expansion Project, as well as some wastewater expansion projects such as Square Bay that are incorporated into this value. And those three projects alone are somewhere in the neighborhood of $11.5 million. So 2017 taxation after round one, overall increase over 2016 is up 2.76%. In change in dollars, that's about $485,000. The average residential property class, again, due to the significant changes in assessments, we've had some swings in there. So the largest impact will be to the town of Gibsons, as they've had the largest assessment change over 2016. So their residential property class, on average, will be increasing 11.46%. So what's important to understand is that the regional district SCRD taxation is one component of the overall tax bill that people receive. So in Area A, the average residential change over 2016 at the end of round one is up 1.04%, but their total tax bill on average is about 29%. In Area B, Half Moon Bay, the average change would be up 1.31%, with 42% of the average tax bill coming from the regional district. For Roberts Creek, Area D, the average residential change is up 6.58%, but the SCRD portion of the tax bill on average is about 43%. Area E is up 7.18%, with the average tax bill being about 42%. Average residential change for Area F, West Howe Sound, is up 3.4% over 2016, and the SCRD portion of the total tax bill is about 43%. The average residential change for the District of Sechelt is up 7.59%, and the SCRD portion of the tax bill is about 15%. So in the town of Gibsons, as we stated earlier, up 11.46%, and the SCRD portion of the tax bill would be about 25%. SIGD, Seashelt Indian Government District, is down 1.26 over 2016, with the SCRD portion of the total tax bill about 17%. So parcel taxes and user fees have also been approved for 2017 rates. And so the average change for regional water is up 10.23% for user rates. North and South Pender, user rates are up about 4%, with parcel taxes on all those three being a 0% increase. Community recreation and Pender Harbour recreation are looking at no increase over 2016. Refuse collection is been increased by 1% on both the single-family dwelling and mobile home parks. So several projects have been before the board for round one for decisions, and some of those approved projects as of round one for corporate services include administrative office building for preventative maintenance and fire safety plans. We have some upgrades to our IT departments, as well as our geographical and civic addressing for some orthophoto updates for 2017. In our infrastructure services department, we have several projects with solid waste that have been approved through the various landfills. Many of these are related to Ministry of Environment regulatory requirements. We also have, in our planning and community development, we have several projects within some of the fire departments for preventative maintenance plans as well as our community recreation facility and parks departments. So decisions for round two, our transit and fleet department were not reviewed at the round one budget. So a proposal and report is being brought to the February 23rd Corporate and Administrative Services meeting to review that particular budget and its history in order to inform the board for round two. We also have our community stakeholders that came to our January 23rd meeting to present their budgets, which also need to be reviewed at round two. And then we'll be moving ahead with our finalization of all the budgets in preparation for adoption on March the 23rd. So some decisions for round two include some within corporate services, in planning and community development. We also have some within our infrastructure services department, and those are again for transit and fleet, and some of our wastewater and North and South Pender, as they are dependent on grant receipt for some of those projects. So lastly, the Sunshine Coast Regional Hospital adopted its provisional budget in December of 2016. And we are continuing with the Seashelt Hospital expansion project, of which the Regional Hospital District is funding $15.9 million of the $46.7 million project. Phase 3, which is the renovation project of the old wing, is beginning in 2017 and is estimated at $6.5 million. The Regional Hospital District continues to provide $240,000 towards minor capital equipment. However, we do have unspent funds within Vancouver Coastal Health from 2014 to 2016, and they have provided a plan to the Regional Hospital District to expend some of those funds. So we also have some additional capital approved projects, and for closed loop medication management system and a washer decontaminator. The 2017 provisional budget estimates taxation to be reduced over 2016. However, the final budget is yet to be adopted at the end of March. Thank you. So that concludes our budgetary presentation. So we welcome any feedback that people may have or questions, and they can always provide that feedback on our website at www.scrdbudgetfeedback. We also can be contacted through staff through our Field Road office at 604-885-6800 or directly on our feedback form. Thank you.